And welcome back, everyone, to its last call. Last call with the alcohol only on the Blue Wire Hustle Network. And now join me on the line, this man here. Well, he is going to be taking a big step up. It's the lightweight division, a lot of things going on. And, well, this man is hoping to jump the line and start getting a title shot 2021, 2022. We're going to find out about that a whole lot more. I give you one of the best prospects in all of mixed martial arts. I give you Chris Gonzalez. Chris, you got Yamauchi. It's a big fight here. How much do you like this? That they're pushing you quickly, but they're not giving. You're no longer on training wheels. They feel you're ready for big fights.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page in that sense. I feel like I've been pushing myself just as much as they have, if not more. After a couple of fights, supposedly like developmental fights, I told them I was ready for a step up in competition. I was ready to start getting some win bonuses and fighting better competition. So, I kept asking for a step up, and they've obliged. And so far I've answered the call up until this point, and the next fight's just gonna be a step forward in that same direction.
Break it down for me here. What makes in your estimation, in your review, what makes Scotty Yamauchi so dangerous? I mean, because you look at the record, 25-5. He's beaten a lot of top guys. He's only lost to, pretty good fighters. What makes him good? Like when you look at him, what makes him a tough fighter?
Yeah, I mean, there's no secret to what makes him good and dangerous. His jiu-jitsu is just next level, and he's really good luring people into his game and kind of making people feel comfortable, whether in those grappling exchanges, and then just getting to his positions and to the things that he likes to do well and that he does well. And once he gets to those positions, he tends to capitalize more often than not.
I know, but you usually study opponents, and I know Team Alpha Male always likes to make sure that every no stone is unturned. Do you look at certain fights? I mean, for Yamauchi, do you look at the Bubba Jenkins fight and go, okay, this is what I want to try to do. This is what worked for Bubba. This is what I can use, or do you just go, all right, you know what? I'm a better wrestler than he is. I feel I'm a better striker, and just focus on your positives and limit any negatives.
Yeah, there's definitely a blueprint, I feel like, when it comes to guys who've had this many fights. Usually when guys are losing, it's in a pretty similar fashion. You're not going to find too many different ways to beat guys at this level. Bubba and Michael Chandler both had good success with controlling him once they got him down. Second and third round, I feel like the first round, they both came out a little overconfident with their grappling, and he had them in some dangerous positions. He had Bubba Jenkins back for a lot of that first round. I don't think he had Chandler's back at all, but he did hurt him with that inside heel kick he likes to do. And then second and third round, Chandler and Bubba kind of had a similar plan, which was take him down, press him up against the cage. Short arms, good pressure forward, not letting him swing his legs out, gets that flower sweep that he likes to do. And using that cage as like a barrier, like third leg, to keep him from getting to those positions that he likes to get to, to get to the back.
We're going to go back to this fight in a bit. Take me back to not your last fight, but the fight I thought I wasn't very impressed with. It was you versus Andre Tokov. Both you guys came in undefeated. He was, a lot of people thought, one of the best prospects in that lightweight division. You out-wrestled him. You matched him, hold for hold. You were able to strike him out. Looking back at that fight, how big was that for your confidence going, okay, you know what? I can handle anything now. I can handle any guy in this division, because if I could beat somebody like that who's pretty damn good, I'm ready for anything.
Yeah, that fight's kind of funny, man. So going into that fight, I didn't really realize how good of a fighter he was and is. That kid's fucking tough, and I'm sure I'm going to see him later on down the road. But I definitely went into that one overconfident. And, after those first exchanges, I realized that, his grappling was elite. Fortunately for myself, mine is equally, if not more elite. And I credit that to my years of wrestling and experience and, just having great coaches and, just having been in those high level wrestling matches, from the world championships to, Division I stuff to just having great training partners. And, all those guys out of Fedor's camp are fucking tough too. I think I was the only one out of 3 people who fought one of those Fedor guys that night that got the W. Nemkov ended up fighting Bader, and he kind of dominated that fight. They had another guy on the card too, and he won his fight pretty decisively. So it wasn't until after that fight that I actually realized how good of a prospect he was and still is. That kid's going to be a force moving forward. There's no doubt in my mind that I'll see him later on down the line at some point another, but it was super tough. I got a lot of heart though. I take pride in my grappling. If you're going to beat me, you're damn sure not going to out wrestle me. So, luckily, not luckily, but thankfully I have that skill set to negate his biggest strength, which is his grappling also.
Tell me about that, because when I saw Logan Storley fight another Fedor guy, as you mentioned before, Yaroslav Amosov, he was able to neutralize Storley's wrestling because Sambo, it's like a lot of leg locks, joint locks, chokes, trips. It throws you off your game. How are you able to implement your wrestling and not worry about, oh crap, I'm getting caught in a chokehold, or oh crap, he's working in a joint lock or something. And next thing you know, you're hesitant to go in for takedowns.
Yeah, I think just being positionally aware is super key in those kind of situations. I didn't see the Storley and Amosov fight. I'll have to look that one up. But just being positionally aware and confident in my strengths. I'm a world-class Greco Roman wrestler. I'm 16. I've been competing against the best grapplers in the world for quite some time now. So I just accredit it to that. I've been in those high pressure situations against high level grappling. That fight ended up just being another one of those situations. And, since I had kind of been there before, I guess you could say in a sense, I think that just helped me stay confident in my skills and help negate him from getting to those, those joint locks or, chokes or the things that he liked to do as well.
It's funny, the Olympics are going to be going on this summer within a couple weeks. We got to see Olympic wrestling, Greco-Roman, freestyle. Do you miss it? I mean, is there a part of you that looks and goes, man, I wish I could be there. I wish I could be, and I get it, you're making money, but is there a part of it that misses that thrill of, going to the Olympics, be able to, beat everybody in your own game, knowing what they can do and getting that chance to, hand over the heart, gold medal podium, a flag, we have a song playing, the flag up top. Is there any part of it that misses that the wrestling experience is pure wrestling for the Olympics or even the World Championships?
Yeah, absolutely. So my last fight, I actually had a pretty tough decision to make. I had to choose between, fighting Roger Huerta and having, a pretty decent payday, or going to Olympic trials and, competing for that Olympic team spot. Because it fell on the same day. And I was going back and forth, with that decision for a while. And, ultimately I decided to fight, but it wasn't an easy choice by any means. And I've beaten a lot of those guys who, a lot of those top guys who ended up making the teams. Alex Sancho made the team at 66 kilograms. He's a hell of an athlete, a hell of a wrestler. I think he's going to do really well in Tokyo. I beat him to make the world team in the finals in 2016. And then if you look at the weight class above that, Jesse Porter, he was the representative at 77 kilos. And, I wrestled with him at Northern Michigan, and we were, he's super tough too. And he's going to do really well. And, in the coming years, he's still young and a hell of an athlete as well. But I've had some really good matches with him too. So, I knew I had a chance to make the team, and I'm right up there on that same level with those guys. I've beaten those guys. I've trained with those guys. So it was tough, but at the end of the day, I'm 29. I'm not getting any younger, and I just couldn't pass up that payday. There was no guarantee I was going to make the Olympic team. All those guys are fucking tough as nails, and they've been putting in the work. Whereas my focus has shifted to mixed martial arts since I decided to go this route, to pursue this new journey. So I decided to go get that check.
It's funny. I've talked with a lot of amateur wrestlers in this Olympics coming up, and even prior Olympics. People from Robbie Smith, people from, as you said, Alex Sancho. And there's always the worry of doing MMA because, as I think George Burroughs says, I don't get concussions. I don't want to get knocked out. I don't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
What made you decide to do it? Like, what made you decide to leave a creature comforts of wrestling where you were elite and do MMA where all of a sudden, yep, you can get choked out. Yep, somebody can punch you in the face. Most people don't like getting punched in the face. So what makes you want to do that? Go, I'll do this for, not big paydays at first. Yes, I'll walk in there and try to get punched in the face.
I mean, there's a lot of things that played into my decision. Just having that confidence in my abilities and knowing that I'm more than a wrestler. I'm an athlete. I could do well in any sport. I think I could go try out and have success in fucking at the NFL Combine. I think I can fight. I know I can fight. I know I can wrestle. I don't look at myself as, a one-dimensional kind of athlete. I'm just an athlete overall. There's always going to be a threat for injury in anything you do. You can look at athletes or wrestlers like Helen Morales. She doesn't fight, but she's had more concussions than a lot of fighters that I know, and she had to take significant time off from wrestling because she had concussions. So, I mean, you're no safer in wrestling than you are in MMA. And if anything, I've definitely had less injuries fighting than I've had wrestling. The wrestling grind's fucking tough. And, that transition to mixed martial arts was a little bit easier because I was used to that day-to-day wrestling grind. And it breaks your body down. Your joints, your everything. It's tough. Ellis Coleman's one of my best friends. I've known him since we were kids. He's had multiple concussions from wrestling. I've been fortunate enough not to have any concussions, wrestling or fighting. But yeah, just being an athlete, there's always going to be a risk for injury. So it's not something you think about. Obviously, you go out there and you try to protect yourself at all times, but those things are going to happen. So it's not something I think about.
How do you balance it right now where you are in training for your fight? Because it's a tough sport because you're grappling, you're doing striking, you're doing all this. Oh, by the way, you're doing a weight cut, which your body gets weaker. Every fighter I know, they get dinged up in training camp. They get, bruised, beaten up, bruised up. It's just part of the game. So how do you avoid getting injured because you push yourself too hard, or if the weight cut hasn't gone that great, or you extended yourself too much? As the older you get, how much do you start working on? Okay, I got to pace myself. I got to be more, practical because I'm not, 23 years old. I can't bounce back as much as I used to.
Yeah, no, definitely not bouncing back as quick as I used to. But it's kind of just like you said, just being smarter with your training, man. I don't go with the guys in the room who are trying to prove themselves. I go with guys who have already proven themselves, and we take care of each other. We know that we're only as good as our training partners, and we're only going to get as good a workout as our training partners can give us. So, while we're training, we're not teeing off on one another. We're protecting each other, so giving each other realistic looks. Recovery is a huge aspect the older you get. When I was younger, I would definitely say I was neglecting the recovery side of being an athlete. But as I've gotten older, that's been a big priority of mine, is just staying healthy and not waiting until you're injured to work on your recovery. It's a daily effort, eating right, sleeping right, getting cryotherapy, ice bath, stretching. I got a whole team, and a system out here that works. And I've been able to heal a lot of injuries that I had from my wrestling days. I'm healthier now than I was when I was wrestling, to be honest with you. So it's a daily, it takes a daily commitment, but it's working.
Final question, we'll let you go. I know we're pressed for time here. It's going to be, once again, you versus Yamauchi. It's Bellator 263 in Los Angeles. It's the big card. There's going to be fans. You have the finals of this whole Grand Prix tournament with Pitbull and McKee. You even have a number one contender fight between Brent Primus and Islam Mamedov. How much are you looking for? How much are you looking forward to this? Just, having, after all this last several fights where no fans, no crowd, you can literally hear your corners talk to you and the other corners talk to you. How much are you looking forward to this fight where it's huge atmosphere, a lot of big fights, Los Angeles, and there's the fans? It feels normal.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really mind either way, man. At the end of the day, I just focus on the task at hand and my opponent. Fans, no fans, it doesn't really matter to me. I got a job to do, and it's going to be awesome to have the fans there for sure. It's going to be electric. It's going to bring the energy. But I just got to stay calm and just go out there and work the stuff that my game plan, and just try to execute it better than what he's trying to do. So it's going to be great to have the fans back out there. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing how that Pitbull fight plays itself out. Obviously, he's champ right now. The lightweight division's kind of been at a standstill as far as that goes. So I'm eager to see what happens after his fight with McKee, and seeing who's going to be next in line to fight for the belt at 55. Hopefully I go out there and have the best performance yet, and I put my name in the hat to see to get my crack at him.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to have on the show. I give you one of the fast rising stars in Bellator. I give you Chris Gonzalez. Chris, before I let you go, where can fans check you out at? Where is the Twitter page, Instagram, website, and who are the sponsors going to be for this fight coming up?
Yeah, so you can follow my journey on Instagram. My handle is CGZ Dream. It's a CG's Dream. Sponsors, U.S. Cryotherapy in Roseville. They've been great and vital in my daily recovery. Icon Meals has been keeping me fed and nourished. Capital Strength Performance, keeping my cardio and strength on point. Obviously, Team Alpha Mill, from the coaching staff to all my teammates. And then always open to sponsors as well. So, if you're interested and you want to be a part of the journey, reach out on Instagram, CG's Dream, and, we can make this climb to the top together.
Chris Gonzalez, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are proud to have him on the show. He'll be fighting. It's going to be all the way in the Forum in Los Angeles, California. Bellator 263, Pitbull versus McKee, only on Showtime. Check your time, local listings for details. Stay tuned for more great action coming up here. Once again, only on It Is Last Call. Last Call with the Alcohol. Only on the Blue Wire Hustle Last Call YouTube channel.
Yeah, if you're in the LA area, grab your tickets, use code Gonzalez, and I'll see you guys there.